Boom. We are live. Welcome.
Hey. Oh,
We are back.
I forgot to turn off the mic here. Hold on. Oh, we're not live in my. We're not really live yet. But okay.
We are live.
Oh, we are. We are.
We
Right.
are live. Trust me.
Okay.
It takes the buffer time. It'll be showing probably in about 5 seconds online, but
There
we
we
are
are. Yep,
actually live and
yeah.
recording. This is
Okay.
not a technical issue. This is real life.
And there's an advertisement right away.
Yeah, well, you should watch. I'm sharing the screen with the live comments, so you should actually watch the shared screen that I'm sharing rather than the live screen, which will have a delay.
Okay.
So yeah, welcome back, Victor. Long time no see.
I am prepared, as you can tell. I'm wearing the 2.5 Weird
You
t-shirt.
are. I feel underdressed. I'm
I've
just wearing
got some
a
energy,
YouTube shirt.
and I have prepared, as Hiko will attest to. I have actually outlined
Man,
our program.
you're just ruining the show, bringing all that preparation stuff.
Yeah, I know. And we have no glitches today.
New glitches. Well, my glitch was that I actually thought it'd be cool to promote that we're starting a live in 30 minutes with a video where I said, hey, we're starting, Victor and I are doing our first live show in ages, in half an hour, and there will be no technical issues. And I promised that it was a 30-second video, and the audio on the video was completely gone.
Did you actually upload it, though?
I actually uploaded and promoted it without actually checking the video back, and everyone was
I've done that
pinging me
before.
back saying, hey, there's no audio on that video, dude. What are you saying? And I'm like, I'm saying that there's not going to be any technical issues. Trust me. So it was the perfect promotion. Man, there are so many people here in the comments. Let's just go and see who is saying hello. There's Odie Jr. We've got Guys English World, who is currently playing Among Us. Sorry I couldn't join that.
Where John's here. Good to see you.
We've got the J Vlog. We've got Tai Nakamura, Simon no Chanoma. Who else we got in here? We've got Steve Miller, the man, the legend.
Steve Miller, yes.
Yes.
The voice of America.
Yep. We've got, I kind of think, it's kind of, to me, that's like Captain America. In terms of YouTube world, being on the Voice of America makes you like the vlogger equivalent of Captain America. I think that's what.
And he's also a very, I would say, very morally respectable person. So.
Yeah, I have no reason to suspect otherwise.
Who are you? Are you Dr. Are you Xavier?
Oh, I'd be Dr. Evil, I think.
Dr. Evil. There is no such character. Is there? No.
Well, I mean.
Oh, okay. Well, he's not in the Marvel universe.
No. So yeah. No, I'm not limited by the boundaries of the of the Marvel universe.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
We got Mr. Cordy Chap, who's having a flippin' idiot rammed lift doors electric pallet jack today. Good. Glad to see you having a good day. Sig442, good to see you, Sig442. Hello. Got Nagoya John, probably from Osaka, I'm guessing by the name.
I don't think I've met him, but I think he's still in Nagoya, or maybe he used to live in Nagoya. I forgot.
Yeah. Got Lucas Muscle, long time no see, our man from the Philippines. Good to see you.
Tai Naka. He makes all your thumbnails, right?
He doesn't make my thumbnails, no, but he's an awesome musician. And
Who makes those cool thumbnails of you in various movie poses?
Oh, that was like ages ago. That was and now you put me on the spot, and it'll be horrible if I can't remember the name.
I thought it was Tai Naka.
It wasn't Tai Naka. It was.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I forgot. He's in England, right?
I think so. Yes.
He's a British guy. I forgot his name too. Oh, we apologize.
Adam Payne, good to see you. Who else we got in here? We've got Tim the Asian Ink. Good to see you. Quint Ranked, Barry Convex.
43 people watching. That's great.
Yeah, well, this is a big event. This is like Halley's Comet coming
and we
around.
Promoted
us making
properly,
another live stream. Barry Convex, Quint Ranked, Lo Wang, good to see you, and the drunk man from Peru return. Although he's having a monster, so he's just going to be hyper.
Who's that? The drunk man from Peru? Is that me?
I don't know. You're sober, so it can't be.
No, I do have a strong zero and a bottle of whiskey.
Oh, you do have a strong zero and a bottle. Okay, so you came prepared for every scenario.
Yes.
We've got.
But first, I'm boosting up with this monster drink.
Yeah, well, that'll delay the impact of the alcohol, so that'll be good. Christopher Luke, good to see you, and on time indeed. Jason, 50 grams of sugar in those. Be warned. Who else? Man, we've got so many people joining here. By the way, of course, you can see what we're doing. We're saying hello to everybody, so say hello to us, and we'll say hello to you. So, Terry the Chicken, what an awesome handle name. Honestly, I want to change my channel name right now to Hiko the Chicken. I mean, would that be plagiarism if I copied Terry the Chicken and I just changed Terry to Hiko? I don't know. What do you think?
Can you temporarily change it?
I'm pretty sure you can change it. If you could change your channel to Victor the something, Like to an animal, what would it be?
Like Sora the Geek. Victor.
What animal?
Victor
What's your YouTube animal?
Okay, I would be Vic the Dick. How about that? And then I would just make a hate channel.
Well, I'd be almost relieved if it was a hate channel. Yeah, I don't know. That would sound like a retired adult film star.
That would nobody could insult me because they would call me Vic the Prick. I'm like, yeah, that's my name. Don't worry it out. Yeah. I don't know. Victor.
You'd get subscribers of some sort. Yeah, I'm sure that would work.
Oh, what I would say. That's a good question.
Yeah. We have Atomic Tom, A Devoid. Good to have A Devoid. We've got Ago Minimal. Hey, from Hiroshima. Good to have Hiroshima in the comments there.
That's good.
By the way, as you can see, all hidden comments are revealed because I'm actually showing the producer comments, so nothing is censored here. Shubas,
I didn't know you could do that. That's good. Yeah.
Shubas, our Panama resident. Good to have our man in Panama here in the comments. Excellent to have you. We've got Imperia, Jzam. Shubas fashionably early. Actually, Shubas is always here at the perfect time, just as I'm starting to warm up. So. Yeah, got tons of people. If you are watching, if you're one of the 44 concurrent viewers, just say hello. Just it's fun for us to check the names. And yes, as usual, we have an action-packed show of extremely prepared scripted topics that we are going to stick to. Flargen Jargon. Hey, that's an awesome handle.
Flargen Jargon. Yeah, that's Tim. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man.
Victor, your 360 videos are awesome, and they are. Maybe you want to share that. Like, what are you using? Because 360 videos often look kind of crap, right? Like they look kind of bulky.
This is an Insta 360 camera. It's a new one. It's the One X2. One X2. It just came out, and it came out in January. I ordered it in January. It took about 3 weeks to arrive. Although it's on the Amazon page. 55,000 yen. And you need a lot of little extra things. For example, you need I sprained my wrist today. There we go.
Yeah.
You need lots of monopods. I got like 4 monopods now. Right. I've already had monopods, but I got more. So
yeah, you never have too many monopods. I mean,
and you need lens guards and all that, and you need an adapter for the microphone, which I've only used a couple times. But yeah, they're a lot of fun. And I've got some videos coming out too. There's some already up. There's like a few up on Patreon already. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. The problem is the files are huge.
Yeah.
So a 30-minute video that I've put up is like 80 gigabytes.
Right.
Rendered at highest quality. Because what's the point if the quality is not great? So
yeah.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are enjoying this.
Yeah. No, they look really awesome. Victor, I think you get a free shot if you can pronounce. Is that Kipchek?
Hold on.
Absolute Legends been watching us since 0809.
Let's see. Mr. King of Boss, the J Vlog. Who are we talking about? Oh, that. Ooh. Kip
Cyrillic?
I don't know. I don't know. No idea.
Okay, well, thank you for the challenge. And been watching us since 0809. Yeah, that was before either of us had kids. When we had nothing better to do. So yeah.
Oh wow, really? Yeah.
Excellent to have you watching. Indeed, some agreement that your vids are awesome. We've got from 6:30 in the morning in Tucson, Arizona, the King of Boss. Imagine waking up to our faces. I mean, I'd feel sorry for anyone who does that. I
like my wife.
Appreciate. Well,
she doesn't wake up to your face.
I don't know. Maybe she starts watching videos on my channel or whatever. Yeah, Nick F. Hallelujah. 2.5 Oyajis is back. Indeed. Amen. Amen. Can I get a hallelujah? We've got
Strong
one already.
Zero here. Strong zero.
Okay. I like you're rotating the drinks. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe enough of 51 people now. That's great. Okay. Yeah, and remember to drop us a thumb up.
Thumb up, like, and just say hello in the comments. It's just awesome to see all the beautiful people that are watching. And also remember, we'll do this. If you @mark me, if you write Hikosaemon or you @mark Hikosaemon, your name will flash orange, and that'll grab our attention a bit better. You see that we've got the chat front and center on this format. So you guys are actually the middle of this, but we're just gonna go for it and start talking.
Look at this.
Oh, someone's supposed to be in bed.
What are you doing?
A scary dream.
What happened? You never do this. Did you have a fight with Mama? Yesterday I told her in the middle of the day, I said, I love you. And she said, it's not time for bed yet. Because she thinks I only say that when she put her to bed. But
yeah. That means you're not saying it enough.
You want to say hello to Hiko?
Hey.
You want to say hello to the people? Look.
Hey.
Say hello. That's Hiko. Say hello.
Yeah. How you doing? I think someone's supposed to be in bed, aren't they?
Yeah,
are you going to stay up a bit longer?
She's way past her bedtime.
Yeah. Well, it's exciting. I mean, 2.5 Oyajis is back. I don't blame her for
Literally
being unable to sleep. Yeah, I mean, that's right.
2.5. You can be half Oyaji.
Yeah, this is what happens when we come back. We leave a big gap, is that we have Ewoks coming.
Oh, well. You want to sing a song? Don't let me down song?
You need some gangster rap?
Don't let me down.
That's pretty good.
Let me down. She heard the song by Chainsmokers.
Yeah.
Actually, I found it. It was on. It came up on my iPhone. The Kelly Morita cover.
Yeah.
The Chainsmokers song. I think it's called "Don't Let Me Down." I don't remember. So I played it for her, and she liked it. So I went to the original. Kelly's is actually really, really good. It's a really good cover.
Actually, speaking of 2008, 2009, my lad, who's a bit older, he plays Fortnite now, and lately there's been a big thing of Gangnam Style.
Really?
Is actually like they've got an emoji in the dance. So my son, because it's in Fortnite, he's like, Dad, you got to show me on YouTube, show me Gangnam Style, and he starts playing it over and over on Alexa.
My brother likes it. I mean, my son likes it.
He can do the whole song now, like half in Korean and all the dancing and everything. It's like so yes, going back to 2008, 2009. It's funny they appreciate the classics, kids nowadays.
Yeah,
yeah. They're cultured. They're better than we were.
He doesn't like Aha. Aha freaks him out. The Aha video where they go into the comic.
Yeah.
But he likes the cars.
Understandable. 80s had good cars. Yeah.
No, the cars. The band.
The actual band. Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Rick Ocasek and all that. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, shall we get to some of the topics today?
Sure.
All right. So I was shocked by a couple things. Osaka, 666 cases. Of course, 666 is the devil's number. So that was pretty.
That's like the most metal COVID number you could have, right? I mean, in a way. I mean, Osaka, they've got like that little brother syndrome with Tokyo. They're always trying to beat Tokyo at everything, and it's funny because they always say we're sick of being number 2, but actually they're not number 2. They're number 3. But yeah, it's like they finally got one up on Tokyo.
What do you mean they're number 3? 3? You mean after
Yokohama's the second biggest city.
Okay. Well, I kind of think of Yokohama as the same as Tokyo.
Well, it is, but it is funny that technically Osaka is like frustrated at being number 2 when technically they're actually 3.
Tokyo had, I think, 497 cases.
472.
72. Okay.
Yeah, but still pretty awful.
That's the sound.
That's the sound. Yeah.
She sees the sound wave. So
I'm excited at the technical issue possibilities. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, so when we talk, it moves like that, see?
Oh, the Hanami was today. Well, Bushido Devil Dog.
Oh, did he go?
I guess you did. He
we were
said
just
that he
about
missed
to
us.
badmouth the Hanami.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, personally...
That's him.
Who? That's who? Bushido Devil Dog.
He's the one who makes the... Right?
Who makes
the thumbnail for you?
No.
What is it?
Who are you talking about? Wild Bull? Where's Wild Bull?
I thought he made the thumbnails for you. He's in the comments. Yeah, donate the super chat. Just give you super chat.
Razo Gul. No.
Razo Gul.
It's not Razo Gul.
What is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Razo Gul, by the way, and excellent to see you, and good to be back. Coming back, the corona situation. So Nagoya is not doing so bad relatively, which is...
Relatively. I think we had 99 yesterday.
So yeah, everybody, by the way, is extremely pissed off that everybody in Japan is not already vaccinated. I'm honestly finding it hard to get all worked up about it. I mean, of course, UK and America have the shots first because they're making the stuff, right? How can they be angry at Japan when Japan's not even like making them? Japan is importing it from America and Europe, right? On my Twitter, everybody's angry that the Japanese government's grossly incompetent for not giving us all vaccinations already.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of annoyed by that because I want to travel and I can't travel until I get my shot. So
yeah, I mean, everyone wants a shot, but like, are you like angry at the government for not giving you for not having shots ready?
They're being wary, and I understand. And a lot of Japanese that I've talked to have said, "Well, I'm kind of glad other people are getting it first, so we can see if anything happens."
Yeah, well, exactly. That's right. They're being our guinea pigs, and
yeah.
And why not? And look, we're all going to get shots, and it's going to be free, and it's going to be fine. No, I'm kind of like, and I'd rather be waiting out a few months here than honestly waiting. I'd rather have spent the last year in Japan and spend a couple of extra months waiting for the shot than being in America and getting the shot sooner, but going through what they've been going through or going through what people in Europe are going through, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm kind of chill about the whole thing. I don't get how people are like outraged that UK are getting their shots first.
I'm pretty satisfied with the way Japan has dealt with it.
Yeah.
Though I've seen people complaining on Twitter about that.
Lucas is asking us what shot we want. Well, the only shot we are getting right now is the Pfizer one. That's the only one that's approved in Japan. And that one's got a pretty good reputation. It's got a pretty high... I think that's the one that they were using in Israel. And it's got...
What was it?
Yeah, and it's got awesome results because not only is it causing people not to get it, but apparently...
You gotta go to bed because you're making too much noise. I can't hear Hiko.
That's okay.
Just sit here if you're quiet, okay? All right.
There we go.
Well, what's the other, AstraZeneca or something?
That's the one in UK and Europe that they're doing, AstraZeneca. Well, that's not approved in Japan.
No, but they said they're going to order in May. There's going to be like we talked about this last week. 10 million orders in the first week of May.
Right. Oh, yes.
Well, so AstraZeneca.
They've got some more of that coming. Yes. But they've also got a bunch of the Pfizer, and they're probably going to get the Moderna and the Johnson & Johnson. The Johnson & Johnson one's cool as well because you only need one shot. You don't need two shots of that.
I'll get that one.
But yeah, I mean, Philippines is getting the Chinese ones, I think, and different countries. But look, if it works, too. I don't care. Yeah, I mean, even Russia's got one which sounds like it's actually not all that bad. Although, I'm kind of glad we're getting the Pfizer one.
So I talked to my friend in Korea, and she said she's not getting it because she said that the CEO of Pfizer hasn't gotten it yet. I'm like, that's bullshit. But I looked it up, and she's right. The top execs of Pfizer have refused to get it because they don't want to jump in line. Yeah,
that's actually respectable to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
I can understand how some conspircy theorists people.
If he wasn't taking it because he thought it was suspicious, then that would be. I'm just remembering as well, was it in Peru that there was a bit of a scandal that all like the president and all the like leaders of the country gave themselves jumped the queue even of the doctors and got the shots first. And then they claimed that they were being brave and they were being volunteers to be experimented on. And they were claiming that it was like a noble thing that they were actually jumping the queue of all the elderly and so on to get the first shots. But yeah.
I thought it was funny that Trump got it in secret in January.
Yeah. I mean,
Well.
I'm glad we missed that and we didn't have to talk about that every week for 4 years. I'm glad that only.
I'm glad, yeah. I don't check my Facebook much at all anymore.
Yeah. No. Well, it's funny. This is with Facebook. I whenever anyone put anything sort of, even if I agreed with them, if they put anything like frustrating or political, I discovered that you can mute them. Mm-hmm. And after I did that to everybody, there's like nobody left. All I see is now pictures of dogs and flowers.
That's the best thing.
Yeah. By the way, we've got Pozzo there. We've got Oliver Cromwell. Good to see. We've got people piling with Channel Ralph. Excellent to see you. Lots of people piling in.
So, do we know how many people went to the Tokyo YouTube party today?
I don't know. Bushido Devil Dog. How many people showed up at the? Hey, we've got Wingstar as well. How many people showed up at the Hanami?
How you doing, Wingstar?
Bushido Devil Dog. I must admit, and Black Tengu. Good to have our Greek representative here in the chat as well. So yeah, as much as it becomes awkward to talk ill of an event with the people here, I mean, look, from my perspective, I'm definitely sympathetic to people who are particularly single and people who have been locked up in apartments and had no social contact, or minimal social contact for all of this time. I'm sympathetic to that. But at the same time, when the Tokyo government is specifically telling people not to do hanami parties and specifically asking people to avoid gatherings and to be cautious at the moment, to have a hanami, like, even an outdoors one in a park right now in the current circumstances, It's apart from the fact, yes, it makes us look like terrorists. It's also basically like having a fireworks party, in the Australian outback bush during like drought season. I mean, there's always somebody who wants to go have a barbecue in the middle of a dried, grassy hill during fire season in Australia, and it's just like this. It's not a responsible thing to do. I mean, look, if the people going there's two parts of it as well. If you're willing to take the risk, that's then fine. If you catch it, that's shame for you. But it's not just the people who are at risk, right? It's the people who you could give it to and all that sort of thing. So, to me, I knew about it, and I chose not to say anything. I'm just like, it wasn't cool anyway. I'm sympathetic to people who wanted to go and see their friends, but I don't know.
I usually promote things like that, but this time I was like,
120 plus. There were 120 plus people at a fucking Hanami party. I mean, that in itself is remarkable. The photos would actually look weird to me to see a party of 120 people, but that is what you call a super spreader event.
Yeah.
I mean, statistically, there had to be someone with it, even asymptomatic. Like, that's almost impossible that there wasn't someone. I mean, that's.
Well, I'm sure they were all wearing masks.
I'm sure they were all keeping distance and not drinking or talking without masks. I'm sure it was Mr. Cordychet. Well, somebody lit a grass fire in NSA, and 120 people gathered and had a drinking party in Oyajis. So yeah. Well, there we go. Good news. Well, it wasn't just the foreigners. There were lots of other people there doing the same thing. So I'm sure that made it all okay. I'm sorry. I don't want to pile in on it. I'm not beating up on you, Bushido Devil Dog. Obviously, I disagree and I didn't go. And I'm not going to say anything more about it. I hope everyone who went there is okay.
I told my wife last week about it. I said, the YouTube party. And she turned and she goes, "You're going?" I'm like, "No way. Wait, I'm crazy? No way. No. I wouldn't even consider it, but
did I
probably could have gone in.
License 45 is telling me off for swearing in front of your...
let's jump to something a little more positive, because
yes, indeed.
I think you don't want to drag this out for like an hour and a half. But kyde McDowell entered the John Lennon songwriting contest.
Isn't he dead?
Yeah.
So how does he pick a winner?
From the grave. I don't know who's judging. Actually, we're judging. So, but some people, I don't know who judged, but she made the finals.
Yeah.
So, did you add the link in the description?
I did. I added the link in the description.
In the description, there's a link to her song. It's the 10th box. And it's called Kokoro no kakera. And there's a link to the song as well. Did you put a link to the song as well? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I copied the links that you sent, so it should be in there.
Great. So, and you can vote. And if you vote, you have a chance of winning a brand new Epiphone Limited Edition 1966 G400 Pro guitar. And it's free to vote. And you can vote every day from April 1st to April 30th. So if you guys want to support her, she's in the world category. She's an old classic J vlogger. She's been around a long time. She's still hard at work.
So basically, just click on the link. Go vote for cats. Yeah, Cat McDowell. Not Kate.
Sorry. That's a cat. Kate. I
said Kate. You said Kate. It's Cat McDowell.
It is. I wrote Kate for some stupid reason.
Yeah. But sorry, no, we jumped around Black Tengu. What was I about to say about Pfizer? No, just that the Pfizer one is the only one that we have right now, and I'm cool with that. It looks like it's very effective. But so everybody check the link in the video, go and support Cat McDowell. She wrote our original theme song when we had a theme song for 2.5 Oyajis. She composed that, and she was live on the show.
Can you find that? Can you dig it up?
I'm sure I can dig it up.
Yeah. Let me dig it up online. Let me see.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Let me see.
Tai Nakamura loves free guitars. Yeah, they're the best kind.
Free food and free guitars.
Yeah. Wingstar needs to get a new car. She hears that the Honda Fit is very popular in Japan. It is very popular in Japan. In fact, I think for a couple of years it was like the most popular car. It certainly is up there. Hondas are good cars.
You don't have a car, do you?
I do not have a car. I'm waiting. I'm waiting now, pretty much for full self-driving and possibly flying at this point.
Let's see. Music.
Jason's all sumo topic. We're on topic number 3. Yeah, we're rocketing through.
Oh, Jason's there. Oh, hey, Jason.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now that we had a request comment, which I don't know much about, but I looked into it. It's Mahoto Watanabe.
Oh yeah. So you shared that with
apparently
me.
started on Nico Nico Doga as a rapper or something when he was in junior high school, and then became huge with a combined total of like almost 5 million subscribers. And turns out he's a pedophile.
Yeah. All of that. This was an awkward enough topic before our special guest joined us, but yes. So I don't really know what to say. The video featuring that was actually from PDR, who, by the way, still has for me my favorite. He's like my favorite channel. Like,
yeah, he's good. He's a good channel.
Yeah. But he does get into the J-vlog, to the Japanese YouTuber drama stuff, and this was one of those. And yeah, it was just painful, and I don't really know much about Mahoto other than what I actually hear from PDR. But yeah,
but what was interesting is that he did make a good point about the fact that this guy will probably get maximum of $30,000 fine, and won't serve more than a year or so, but definitely impossibly less than 3 years.
Yeah.
But the same thing happened in America with another YouTuber, and the same thing where he got some 15-year-old girl to send him nudes, and that guy is going to jail for 10 years.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So, and so Japan is obviously a bit
lenient.
Too lenient on that.
They're very polite and friendly.
They are.
To everyone, even pedophiles.
Yeah. By the way, the J-Vlog mentioning that you haven't seen a Mitsubishi Delica since you came back. Yeah, it's funny. Mitsubishis are just not very popular in Japan. They were popular until that scandal where they were hiding all the recall records, and then you just didn't see them anywhere anymore.
Really?
I find it funny when I go to like Thailand or Australia or New Zealand, and you see Mitsubishis all over the place, but yeah, you don't see them in Tokyo anyway. You see Hondas and Toyotas, occasionally Nissans, but you don't really see much of Mitsubishi or Mazda. Mazda you see a lot of in Hiroshima where they're made, but yeah, it's funny. I know the Delicas, and they're good cars.
Do you say Mazda?
Mazda, yeah.
Oh, really? We say Mazda.
Mazda's probably the better Japanese pronunciation.
Japanese say Matsuda, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
But in Australia, they're Mazdas. So, yeah.
Mitsubishi.
Setsuna, you're early. We're just warming up here.
So I got a question for you, Hiko. This is kind of interesting. There's a vlogger. I forgot his name. He's a fitness vlogger.
Yeah.
And he's got long hair. He's from the U.S.
Long hair. So it could
he's
be
kind
me.
of a hippie calisthenics yoga type of guy.
Yeah.
And he's super popular. He's got
long-haired hippie fitness person. That sounds like me.
It's called hybrid. I think it's called hybrid calisthenics.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, he made a video recently, just the other day. It was very short, less than 3 minutes, and it wasn't about fitness. He said people keep asking him to comment on the other fitness gurus.
Okay.
And he declined. He said it's not for me to comment on them or to call them out. He goes, I watch them all. I appreciate that they've helped grow the market.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with everything they say, but I'm not going to make videos bashing other people. And it got me thinking, because that's the opposite of what I am.
Yeah. If people like that exist, Victor. It's amazing.
Really nice people. And I thought that's such a nice way of thinking. And PDR was interesting because one of the things he said in his video was, he said all the other YouTubers were supporting this Mahoto guy before the facts came out. But he thought that's ridiculous. And people are like, oh, we miss you. We'll wait for you to come back and all this. And he's like, you guys are stupid. This guy molested a 15-year-old girl. And then he punched another girl and kicked her in the face or something. It's just... And I thought, which way to go? What do you think?
Yeah. So there's a... Oh, man, I'm so blanking out. But there's a channel that I subscribe to of a guy who just has a whole channel. It's like a comedy channel where he just badmouths different types of martial arts.
Oh, that guy, right?
Yeah, and he invites them on and mocks their kung fu and explains why was America Dote or Ameridote is his strongest style of kung fu. So yeah, I think it'd be I would be drawn to watch a health and fitness guru who like trash talks other health and fitness gurus.
Well, a lot of them do that.
Do they do that? It's kind of funny because I think of those people as all being kind of weirdly positive. So I'd be kind of interested to see someone who like. Lately, I've also been watching pizza reviews. Those are also actually
pizza reviews.
Yeah. There's a Barstool Sports. There's a channel. This guy who just goes around every day and eats a slice of just cheese pizza at different restaurants. It's Yeah, she's trying to drown out the
noise.
noise.
Let me see if I can put her to bed, okay?
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back. Come on, let's go to bed. Time to go to
Good
bed.
night.
It's way past your bedtime. You want to say goodbye?
Isaiah Eddington, bye-bye. Not happy to go to bed. Not liking it.
You gotta go to bed, baby.
There we go. Isaiah Eddington, indeed, so long since we've seen you in the comments. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. But yes. Reminds you there, Sig442 reminds you in the Euro Truck Simulator 2, Isuzu mini trucks driving around. Did not know that. Okay. Oh, so they have Isuzu trucks. I mean, the Isuzu, they used to make the Holden Jackaroo when I was a kid. I think they were the actual manufacturer of that. They had some good cars back in the day. Razo Gul, thanks very much. Wingstar, I really did help on her fitness journey. Wow, got the Withing scale. I got the Withing scale, and I love it too. So you know what I'm talking about. And it does help, right? It just makes you aware each day of what's going on. So yeah.
Thanks. Sorry about that.
So now I realize who Sig442 is as well. Okay, so the truck simulator guy from Brisbane. Good to see you. Yeah, welcome back, Maddie. Good to see you. Got Maddie there, and. Yeah, this truly was 2.5 Oyajis. Yeah.
Maddie, how you doing?
What were we talking about again?
Print ranking, huh?
Oh yeah.
No, we're talking about
being good to people.
So I've always
thought
weird
is that?
It's kind of our responsibility to hold other people accountable when they put out bullshit information.
Oh yeah, that was our thing. That's right. That's what we used to do quite a lot of. Yes.
But after I saw this guy, I thought, he makes a good point. Everyone expands the world, Everyone does make, the more people who make videos about Japan,
yes,
the bigger the market gets. And
yeah. Well, that is true. So you're thinking it would be a reason that even a child molester would be good if he's expanding the Japan community?
Oh.
Is that where this is going? Because if so, I'll have to lodge an objection.
No. I'm just thinking, and I was pretty impressed with this guy's attitude. That's all. Oh. And I actually don't like this guy too much. I think he's kind of a hippie. but the way he said that, I thought, you make a good point.
Yeah. Well,
he always says, "Hello, friends," and I don't like that kind of.
Yeah. Well, actually, to me, there's nothing better than having someone that I think I'm going to disagree with make a point that you think is good, right? I mean. Yeah. I find whenever you go and watch someone who you expect to be good and then they say something that you agree with, it's kind of like, well, it's good, but I was expecting that. That's why I'm here. But it's always kind of more interesting when someone says something, that you don't expect, right? So I can get that. And certainly having a hippie saying something worthwhile, I can see how that would be.
Who is Mira's old, what's it called, Middle Eastern friend who lives in Colbert? No? What's the guy's name?
I haven't cared about that for so long.
I'm supporting your argument here.
Yeah. Okay.
So he made a video about Ryan Boundless a while ago, so I called him out on it. Right, that guy.
Oh yeah. I remember. I know who you mean, but I honestly I only knew tangentially about the people.
I saw some of his videos, and he does this like drone videos, and they were really, really good. And I have no problem admitting that this guy makes some really interesting videos.
Yeah.
Even though I kind of thought he was a dick.
Well.
At first, but I don't hold it against him. He still makes really good videos. So.
Yeah, power to him. Yeah.
So yeah, and kind of impressive. Yeah. Anyway, so that's I was impressed with the PDR though for saying that and calling out everyone else. He said,
but he does that all the time. He does trash talk in a fun way. That's why his channel is so good. He is not a hippie. He loves poking fun at and the Japanese multi-channel networks, and whenever there are scandals like this, he is all over it. And the way that he presents it is quite humorous. It's always English subtitled, so it's quite accessible.
Yeah, they are English subtitles. I was interested in the way he worded the Japanese because I could understand it, but I thought, that's an interesting way to put it. So it's good for learning Japanese as well. But
agree. No, he has one of the best Japanese channels you can watch. I can't recommend it enough. Gilded Nerd, good to see Gilded Nerd, and Accent, good to have, man. We've got the whole. It is funny. You and I get together and the views explode. Like, I don't know. This is probably normal for you, but it's not. It's not for me.
No. This is good. This is going to be promoted properly this time.
Yeah. So what else we got?
What?
That's right, Mr. Cordy Chat. PDR has the most awesome channel.
I was checking views last week, I think, and or maybe 2 weeks ago. He's one of the top. Him, you know who we had on the show a long time ago? Do you remember Sora the geek, the Japanese guy?
No.
His great voice.
Okay.
He's kind of a nerd. He always wore like a white lab coat.
Yeah.
And he was tiny. He only had 2,000 subs. He called himself Sora the Jap then.
Yeah.
That's what it was. He called himself Sora the Jap.
Yeah. Oh.
And I had him. Do you remember him?
I you know what? I'm almost glad I don't remember him. Was that the name that he was using?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I put that in my title.
Yeah.
And some people got really pissed off about it. And I'm like, that's what he calls himself. What am I supposed to do? Anyway, he is huge now. He has like 267,000 subs. He gets tons of views now.
I'm sure your options included not repeating a racial slur, but yeah, I do get it. That was his name.
What's his name?
Be careful what you name your kids, mums.
Remember NWA?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could say NWA, but you can't say Sora.
Yeah, let's not say.
I know, we're not going to say it. Sora the Troll, that's what it was. Sora the Troll. But he called himself Sora the Jap, too.
Yeah.
Sora the Troll, that's it. Yeah.
By the
Great
way,
guy. I like the guy. He's really funny.
Oh.
His channel is kicking ass, too. He's very funny.
Yeah. Good for that person, whoever they are.
Anyway, check him out again. Check him out. You'll see him. Yeah. So I sent you an article. Well, I don't think we're gonna have time for this one, but there was something that it was sold on the it came into my mailbox as Japanese women have a problem with sexual harassment because they don't realize it's sexual harassment. And just reading that title, I thought, well, then it's not sexual harassment. What do you think?
So Japanese don't recognize Japanese
in my
women...
mailbox from Japan Times, which I do pay for.
Yes.
I pay for it.
Supporting
came a
journalism.
little blurb about today's. Read this article, and it said harassment, sexual harassment in Japan is a problem because Japanese women don't realize that they're being sexually harassed. And I'm like, well, maybe then it's not sexual harassment.
I think I get where you're coming from. I think where the article is probably coming from is from a position that women don't realize that they actually are empowered to do something about it. Like I think it comes from a position of powerlessness where they think that when their boss is pressuring them and honestly sexually assaulting them, they don't realize that that's something that they can actually make a legal complaint. They feel like they can't do anything about it. I don't think it's from they didn't even feel like anything was wrong. if it was consensual and they didn't think anything was wrong, then of course, but then
maybe
that wouldn't be.
They didn't use the word sexual harassment, but they just thought yada,
Yeah, which technically even that, I mean, an unwanted, and particularly remember, sexual harassment as a defined term, that is where someone uses their power of position over you, which normally is employer, but it could be other things, to make you in an unwanted way, right? Right. So if someone is sexually pressuring you in an unwanted way and taking advantage of their position over you for that, I suspect the issue is that Japan, the Davos gender equality ratings came out the other day. Japan, 147 out of 165 countries, 9 places behind Saudi Arabia.
That's amazing. Really? 9 places behind Saudi Arabia?
Saudi Arabia, yeah.
Where they just started to allow women to
drive. Yeah, Japan is 9 places behind them. So, the idea that Japanese women aren't fully aware of their rights and how they can fight back.
What about India? Where was India on that list?
I don't know where India was on that list. But
if you get raped in India, they beat you up with the rapist at the same time.
I don't know if that's a fact, but it factors in it factors in lots of things, including political and economic representation, which I'm sure India actually does better than Japan. Japan, so I suspect it comes from a position of women actually just being unfamiliar that they have legal rights. I think that's what they mean, and that is indeed a problem. Sorry to make it boring and give a boring answer, but no, I don't think it's because they're cool with sexual harassment. I don't think that's the actual.
No, I wasn't playing they're cool with it. I just thought the wording of the headline was kind of stupid. Like,
yeah.
But it is. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's a problem here. I saw. I was. Nobita.
Yeah, I actually would watch some of his videos, and that he is a right-wing freak.
Yeah.
And you know what? It just hit a point one day where I couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't. He's just. I know that guy gets a lot of views.
So somehow someone put it on Facebook, and I popped over there, and I thought, I haven't seen this guy in a while. I wonder how is his channel doing. I popped on his channel. I saw that he had become a full-time YouTuber. Then I saw that Yoko was on his He interviews Yoko.
Another crazy right wing. I mean, they're everywhere. Yes.
And
Random Yoko. Wow, that's
I watched a little of it, but she was saying basically that Japanese women don't want to. They're very happy the way they are. So basically, that was the whole argument.
That's the Mio Sugita line that, don't trust women because they cry to deceive men, and men need to be protected from deceptive women. Oh man, yeah. I mean, look. People are free to think and say whatever the hell they want, but please don't remind me of what these particular people say and think.
We got to find more people. There are a lot of people coming up now. Wingstar says someone is Santi is another new Japanese YouTuber. I don't know who that is. So.
You should check these out. Yeah, thank you for the recommendation, Wingstar. Actually, if other people have recommendations of good YouTubers to check out, let us know.
Quint Rankin likes Nobita because Quint Rankin likes Trump, so that makes sense. I got to apologize to you because last week one of our speakers jumped on and said that
but like Nobita's he's almost like against women like wearing jeans or something. Like he's so conservative. Like I mean, just some of the opinions that he's given were just so crazy about Westerners stop trying to change our pure Japanese culture and stuff like that. I'm like sorry, don't, it's fine. People are allowed to can like whoever they like, but
that was one of the questions on my channel for this channel today for today's talk. They said, are the Japanese changing at all? They barely put up with us, foreigners living in Japan, but are we finally making any impact? Are they coming to think more like us? And it was interesting because the person who left that comment is really homophobic. So I thought, well, I hope not like you because he's... But of course, we're affecting each other, I'm sure. Things are changing. It's slow, but things are changing.
Sure. I'd like to think we're all slowly stumbling and rolling down a road towards eventual enlightenment.
I'll tell you what has changed in the last 30 years. This is my 29th year now.
Yeah.
Smoking on subways.
Can you imagine?
In restaurants, smoking on the street. All that has changed quite a bit, right?
That has changed a lot.
Women's cars, women's only cars that emerged in the last, I don't know when, 10 years ago maybe?
About that, yep.
Yep. What else has... What else has changed? Quint Rankin. Okay, well, thank you.
Smoking was a big difference. It was really hard. Coming from a country that was already smoke-free to Japan in the late 1990s, it was pretty hard to take. It was pretty awful that you go out like clubbing and you'd come back like head to toe just like soaked in smoke.
You couldn't go to a coffee shop.
Oh. So that's something that's definitely a positive change. I mean, I don't know. So much stuff has improved and mellowed, actually, and become more convenient. The places doesn't even, like, compared to nothing is the same, actually. You could start with that. That's one that really stands out. But, so many things have changed. And I don't see how anyone could really see any of the changes as being anything other than positive. There's nothing, I'm not nostalgic at all. I mean, there are things, I suppose.
Did you know that in the old days in Japan, if you had a baby, you were supposed to gift the doctor some money?
Oh, really? Now the doctors give you money. The government gives
like $3,000 as a thank you for delivering the baby.
Wow, a kickback.
And it's still apparently done in the country even now. But I saw a question on Reddit about this, and I thought I'd never heard of that. But I asked a few people, and they said, yeah, they used to happen like back in the day.
Yeah.
So probably about 30 years ago too.
Yeah, I mean. That sounds plausible to me, but yeah, again, in a way, now the government, gives payouts if you have babies, and in places like Yokohama and Tokyo, where they want to attract residents and young families and stuff like that, they actually make all the medical care free in a lot of local governments in Japan, but that's by government.
In Nagoya, in Nagoya, I don't know about all of Aichi, but in Nagoya, all children are free. All medical expenses for children until the age of 18 are free.
Yeah. There's a lot of parts of Tokyo that offer that, but I think...
Oh, really? Parts? Okay.
Yeah, it varies local government by local government because they pay for it. But
all of Nagoya.
But I could imagine back in the day when that wasn't a guaranteed thing. That expecting to rely on the doctor a lot, you might pay them a bit of a yoroshiku, in anticipation of wanting them to be on call if you needed the help.
The apartment situation has changed too. Like in the past, you definitely had to pay 3 months up front and all that. You can find a lot of places now that require nothing.
I mean, it was crazy that existed before. The key money, the enormous key money fees.
The Chikiki and all that stuff.
But yeah, the fact is it still is such a buyer's market now. There's so much over construction of apartments and there's so many empty apartments all over the place. To me, with all of that, it still is crazy that they get away with asking for key money. And, even though it has improved a lot for for people renting, it still is crazy to me how much the landlords still expect from renters, like what the power dynamic is. But yes, it has improved a lot. I see there's a question there. Bob Turner asked,
hello, Aaron. By the way,
what has changed? More corruption scandals involving Japanese companies with Western management, i.e. Olympus and Nissan. You know what? Even the corruption stuff, though. I mean, yes, there's always
existed. Yeah.
Believe me, it's if anything, that is better. Hey, Aaron, we've got Aaron in the chat. Good to see you.
In the old days, it was, what was that guy's name? Nakano, the Prime Minister Nakano?
Tanaka Kakue.
That was huge.
Tanaka Kakue was the famous one in the 70s, but there were. I mean, every Prime Minister
with Lockheed, right?
Yeah, that was the Lockheed one. That was like the classic one, and that was the only thing. That was just a watershed because that was the first time a prime minister actually went to jail for it. But every prime minister before him did it also. But that was kind of the time that everyone said, "Okay, it's getting too much, guys." But that was in the 70s, and it never stopped. And basically, every prime minister between the 1970s and the rotating door of all these prime ministers, they always resigned for corruption scandals. It was like a standard thing. The 1980s, the recruit scandal, they had these enormous corruption scandals. And even now, I mean, everybody's been talking about how ridiculous that Japan was promoting travel and tourism and going out to restaurants in the middle of the pandemic. Yeah. And that was for a $450,000 donation to the head of the LDP government party.
I didn't know that.
And he was the one who was driving this, saying it was to protect the tourism industry. The bribe didn't even cost that much, and he was open about it, and that was making him decide as a government policy to pay people to travel during a pandemic. And it clearly led, the first two waves, it was only Tokyo, Nagoya, Osaka, it was only the big cities. And then when they did go to travel, all of a sudden the whole country just got COVID at the same time. And they're like, we don't know why everybody suddenly got it at the same time, but go and travel by all means. So it was basically people from the city spreading it around.
That was a ridiculous thing. I think Japan could have been like Vietnam or something and just cleaned it up really quick, but it didn't happen.
They managed it. I mean, I think they deserve some credit for how well it's been overall managed.
No, I mean, comparatively,
but they never tried to eliminate it like Taiwan and South Korea and Vietnam did. And we've done nothing like as well as them. But compared to Europe and America, Japan's done it doesn't get any credit for it, but I think it has actually done quite a reasonable job of managing the spread. But yeah, they sort of gave up on trying to eliminate it. They never had a lockdown. Well,
America was an embarrassment. So
yeah.
New Zealand was the only country I think that. Well, no, I'm sorry. Cambodia and Vietnam, a few places, yeah. But New Zealand did a great job.
New Zealand got down to zero. I think Australia also remarkably got down to zero. New Zealand was super aggressive though.
I heard they just had a new breakout. Brisbane or something. Right?
Yeah, like 7 people got it. Oh. So 7 people, and they literally imprison people in their homes for a week. So it's a different scale. And this is the thing in New Zealand and Australia where they have these full-on lockdowns, and they are like, you can be arrested for just going out of the house, kind of a situation.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So, in a way as well, while it's been really effective, and credit to them for getting down to zero. Do we have Karens?
Yeah.
Yes, a very popular name.
No, you know what I mean.
Yes. That we have Karens and we have Karens.
You have anti-maskers as well?
Of course. I mean, well, when I say we, I mean, I can't really speak. I haven't lived in either country for 23 years. But yes, I am familiar that in in New Zealand and Australia, there are definitely anti-vax and anti-mask people and anti-lockdown people. But the lockdowns, they were really harsh. That's the point. So the thing is, while I can see maybe it would have been better to have been in New Zealand where people can go to concerts and football game matches and stuff like that right now, and that's pretty cool. The lockdowns there were super harsh, whereas here in Japan we haven't really had a harsh lockdown. I mean, like I say, go-to travel was ridiculous, and that was an example of corruption still working. But it's been pretty chill as things go, right? I mean, it's not been easy. It's been bad for the economy and everything. But people, there's nothing stopping anybody from doing anything, frankly, including 120 YouTubers having a party in a park today, even though the government asked people not to do it. Nobody's, and there's no punishment, there's no penalty for that. They're just relying on people being good citizens, so there's no consequence to breaking the rules. It's just everybody sort of being good. And that's what I like about Japan, that most people just do the right thing. So yeah.
That's true. I got a question for you from my video that I put up earlier, and I'll read it to you because I don't understand it. Europe seems to be, this is related to this, Europe seems to be in permanent lockdown, but not Japan. Do people still talk or care about the COOF?
The COOF?
Yeah.
Is that like COOF? The COF?
COOF.
I have
Maybe
no
that's
idea.
COVID? I don't know. Never heard of it? Okay, I don't know. That's strange. Okay. All right. Let me see. What did you think about the Olympic? I didn't think this was a big deal. Do you remember the Olympic scandal?
The Olympic scandal?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, I'm so over the Olympics in every way, including the fact I'm going to be paying the taxes for it for the rest of my life if I stay in Tokyo. And the stories are so bad. Like the creative director of the opening ceremony, just the fact he wanted to dress up a woman as a pig. And,
Watanabe, right?
Yeah, and pointed at her and say, "Look, she's the Olympic." And somehow, I saw genius in it. I don't think that was a bad punny joke. That would have united the world. You would have had all of the Muslim countries being offended at the image of a pig, and all the non-Muslim countries being offended at the image of a woman being portrayed as a pig. It would have brought everyone together, which is what the ceremony is all about.
The thing is, she's a comedian. I thought maybe she'd go for it.
And in fairness, she has done. I mean, so some people clapping back on Twitter pointed out she's actually done ads dressed up as a pig before.
Yeah.
But
actually, I didn't know that, but she's done pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Japanese are pretty. Comedians will do anything basically. So I don't think it was such a big deal. But apparently, this came out a year later. Right. He said that last year, and someone just wanted to get rid of him, so they brought it up.
Well, yeah. But you heard what happened in the last few days. The latest one is a little bit more interesting. That all along, all of the sort of scandals, associated with the Mori sexist stuff, and all that kept getting leaked by the same. All the tabloids in Japan have these journalists who basically go around hunting in garbage tins for the scoop, for the actual. They do the actual investigative sort of looking for the scandals, and the one that's been getting all the scandals has been Shukan Bunshin, the weekly Bunshin tabloid. They've found most of the scoops about the scandals about the Olympics, and they did another scoop this week where they found out that before the Olympic idea, the idea which was tossed out was the idea of having an Olympic ceremony based on a theme of Akira, like having the cool red bike and having a big live anime setting and doing the opening ceremony as that. And when the plans for this idea that was tossed aside, when they got hold of these plans and they published it in the tabloid, and everyone's going, "Oh my God, that would have been such a better idea than everything else that we're hearing about. Like, why don't they do that? They should do that." Everyone's really getting excited about it. The Tokyo Olympic Committee published a formal request to the Shukan Bunshin to immediately recall all of the copies of the magazine that they have sold and cancel publication of it because it contains secret information about the preparation for the Olympics.
Oh.
The Minister for the Olympics also called them out, saying that they have been publishing all kinds of critical stuff about the games, and they should also recall and stop selling their newspaper, and they should recall all of the sold copies. And so a similar thing happened with the FCCJ, the Foreign Correspondents Association of Japan, where on their little newsletter they had the Olympic symbol with all looking like little COVID symbols, that pissed off the Tokyo Olympic Committee, and they said, "We want you to recall that," and they actually complied. The Foreign Correspondents Association of Japan said, "Oh, we're very sorry we upset the Olympics," and they actually recalled it. So when this happened,
Jake Adelstein's group, right?
It is. They were gutless, absolutely spineless how they responded to it. And so when they did this during the week, when this tabloid did this thing a few days ago, last night, the Bunshin published their editorial response to the request to cancel publication and recall all their copies. You should read it, man. They said, "Fuck you and the horse that you rode in on." They said for a public interest taxpayer funded entity to be telling a free press organization attempting publicly to censor free speech and legitimate journalism, and that's doing a lot to hold them accountable when they have endless scandals and accountability problems. Them demanding publicly is anti-democratic, it's not consistent with a free society, it's absolutely unacceptable, and we will not be cancelling or recalling the thing. It was so good, you should just read it. They basically,
what is the name of the publication?
Shukan Bunshin.
Shukan, the weekly, right?
Yeah. I mean, they didn't swear, but they basically said a straight fuck you straight back to the government and the Tokyo Olympic Committee when they demanded that they record.
Is the last kanji spring?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's right. Sentence spring.
Okay.
They did so good.
Oh, good.
And it's funny. I was sharing it on Twitter, and all the journalists who saw it were saying.
It's on your Twitter. Okay, good. I'll just go.
And all the journalists, like who from the FCCJ, were like, "Yeah, it was so embarrassing how the FCCJ totally caved on a similar request, and how a Japanese tabloid is actually like standing up on principle better than the FCCJ did."
That's good.
But but you know, I mean, that whole event is. You know, in New Zealand, we would use the expression putting lipstick on a pig. You know, they're trying.
No, we use that too.
Yes, they're trying to. When are they going to give up? Seriously, I mean, you heard about how when they had the torch relay that you know, some people were shouting out like, "This is a dumb idea. You should stop the Olympics, and we shouldn't be doing this torch relay." And whenever they do that, the NHK would actually cut the live audio stream. And apparently, this is in the broadcast requirements of the Olympics, that if they hear protesting against the Olympics, they only allow the broadcasters to broadcast if they cut the audio. So people who are watching this live were like, "Oh my God, this is like mainland China."
I found the article on Twitter. Sorry, good, thanks.
Yeah, sorry, I could go on and on, but yeah.
That's cool.
Lysander, remembering that I can swear. I swear sometimes on my regular show, although not very often.
You know what? I haven't seen you swear so much in a while.
I'm losing it, man. You know, well, this is good. You bring out the swear in me. Thank you. Whenever I see you, I just want to start swearing. Well.
I'll try to take that as a compliment. We got 82 people watching. Hey, thanks for. Hey, you guys, drop us some thumbs up. Drop Hiko some thumbs up here on the.
And thank you, Aaron, for reminding people. Actually, there must be.
We forgot to talk about next week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kyde and Eric.
Who
are they're really great J-blogging.
Not even up and coming. They are there.
Married.
Yeah.
They're from the States. They came over. I just saw their. Have you seen any of their videos yet?
I'm familiar with their channel. I haven't actually watched since you told me that they're on, but I've seen their videos before.
They put up a video just last week called like "We've Been Married 10 Years."
Right.
And I looked at the first thing I check is the time, like 52 minutes or something. I'm like, oh my God! But it went by like nothing.
Yeah.
It was quite entertaining actually, which I was surprised at because it's hard to hold someone's attention for 52 minutes. But anyway, it's funny they got married because he was coming over, I think, or she was coming over. And I think he was coming over on a visa, and they wanted a spousal visa.
Yeah.
So they said, yeah. So basically, it was a spousal visa.
Okay.
Which is funny.
You could do that, yeah.
I mean, and they were going to get married anyway. They said, so it's not that big a deal. But it's kind of funny to say that on camera. But
yeah.
Anyway, fun videos. I gave you a link so you can drop that in your description as well. So next week, please bone up on your Kyde and Eric. I always say Kyde, but it's actually Kyde, I think.
I always read it as Kyde. I didn't realize it was Kyde actually, which shows I'm not watching the channel.
I've heard them say Kyde in their videos, but when I see the name, I always want to say Kyde.
By the way, question for you, Victor. It's actually aimed at me, but I'll ask it at you. D is asking, some old Japanese in Kyoto told me that the conviction rate in Japan is 99.8%. I get it, but how does this affect someone? Have you ever met someone arrested?
Yeah. I've met people arrested. I've met a foreigner who was arrested.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've met a couple of people who've been arrested. One guy was arrested in an illegal poker game from Nagoya. He went to Tokyo to have fun, and he was in an illegal poker game, and they came down. And kyde. And they arrested him and threw him in jail for 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
And at the end of it, he got out and went back to work and didn't get exported. Or deported, sorry. Exported. He didn't get deported.
Exported is a bit dark. That implies that more happened to that. There were more serious consequences.
His school hung with them. His school said, okay, we're going to hold on to your job. But it could have been, he was lucky. Like the school could have just fired him.
Yeah.
He would have been screwed. But he went back to work and everything was fine. Another guy was driving down the street, and this Japanese guy in another car yelled some shit at him and cut him off or something. So he got out of the car and he got in a fight with this Japanese guy in the street. Okay? Basically road rage.
Yeah.
They arrested him and the Japanese guy, and they basically said, you want to press charges? And because I think the Japanese guy attacked first, and that's what it was.
Right.
So they could either press charges against each other or drop it, and they dropped it. So he was arrested, but they let him go because the Japanese guy didn't want to push it, and neither did he. So, you know. And I went to a police officer once. I was getting my license renewed. So I asked him, I said, if you're arrested in Japan, do you automatically get deported? And they said, no, it depends on you. Like if you've got ties here, if you got family here, no, we don't kick you out. Okay. It depends. It depends.
There was a Japanese lady at my job in New Zealand when I was at university who was married to a New Zealand guy who was deported from Japan for drug dealing in the bar that he was working at.
Oh. But he had no Japanese ties. He had
a Japanese wife, but she moved to New Zealand with him after he was deported. I think something like selling drugs is generally considered more serious.
So the illegal poker game is not that big a deal, I guess.
I guess not. But yeah, it sounds like we could do a whole video just you talking about the people you know who have been arrested. Actually, it's kind of those actually sound like those all have quite good stories behind them. By the way, I just quickly noticing Koriyoto loves Katie and Eric. I also saw there was someone from Quebec. There's Rumble Seb from Quebec, Canada. Awesome to see you. We've also got Eat Me Raw. Greetings from Singapore. Wow, the names are the most impressive part, actually, almost.
Eat Me Raw, okay, yeah.
But I'm sure we've missed people, but so many awesome people in the Paragotti is with us. The difference is that, they cancelled.
Renman in Japan, too. Yeah.
And actually, good point. This is a whole thing which would have been so cool about featuring Akira in the 2020 Olympics. That's right. The 2020 Tokyo Olympics were predicted in the 1980s in Akira, so it would have been like awesome. I mean, they should totally still do that.
Yeah. You know what also didn't bother me about the Olympic thing was, do you remember the last Olympics?
No.
In Japan?
In Japan, you mean the Nagano ones or the 1964 ones?
No, the Nagano ones.
Okay, yeah.
Didn't the Prime Minister dress up as Mario?
That was at the Rio Olympics in Brazil.
Oh, that's the Rio Olympics. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's still ridiculous. Could you imagine President Biden dressing up as anything? Come on. Well, the president, the Prime Minister of Japan dressed up as Mario. That's equally as ridiculous as someone dressing up as a pig.
I disagree. I think that was actually cool, although you could see how extremely uncomfortable Abe was with it. But I think that's different of dressing. Look, in today's political climate, putting the association of pig with an overweight woman in any circumstance, just really, you can imagine TV sets being thrown out of building windows in certain parts of the world nowadays, right? I don't think that's quite the same as Abe wearing a Mario costume.
It really depends on her, though. There's a lot of women who play with their weight. There's a new superhero movie coming out this month on Netflix. 2 overweight women are superheroes. And that's part of the humor, is that they're fat women can be funny. Fat guys are funny. Come on.
Hey, look, I just want to agree with everybody and not get. I don't know. I'm aware of that as an area that you're not supposed to go, but
I don't remember the English. El Gordo y el Flaco, the skinny guy and the fat guy in black and white movies. A lot. What were their names? You remember those 2 guys?
Abbott and Costello.
No, the skinny guy. One was skinny and really thin. One was fat. And they were maybe they were. I don't think they were black and white. They were around. When you said
black and white, I thought you meant like black and white films. There was Abbott and Costello.
Black and white films.
And he was skinny and fat.
Yeah.
But now I'm more confused.
Skinny and fat, black and white comedians, black and white era comedians. I forgot what they're called. Maybe someone will tell us.
Laurel and Hardy. That's a good one.
Laurel and Hardy.
Laurel and Hardy.
Part of the humor is that one of them is super skinny and the other one's super fat.
In the 1930s, yes, a simpler time.
Yeah, but it's continued forever. Come on, Jim Belushi. I mean, not what's the guy's name? The other one who died.
Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi.
John Belushi, not Jim.
Yeah.
Jim was fat too. But...
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, Dan Aykroyd at the time was skinny, although that was again the 70s.
But it's continued. All the fat comedians die.
Jay and Silent Bob. Koriyoto, that's a good call.
Yeah. Oh, Silent Bob. That's good too. No, I mean, we laugh. I mean, I guess we shouldn't, but we laugh at fat people. Fat people who make fun of themselves. So it's okay. We're okay with laughing at them because they make fun of themselves.
Yeah. I suppose if they're cool with it themselves and it's part of the empowerment thing, I think that's cool. I think the idea that it's cool to like bully and mock fat people is kind of has passed not in Japan. In Japan, people will totally call out even if you put on a kilo. That's like the first thing they'll say to you. But
yeah, definitely.
But in America and New Zealand and Australia, I understand that you take your life in your hands if you were to point out to a woman, hey, you've slapped on a few pounds there. Exactly. I wouldn't do that myself, but that's just me. Nor would I poke a joke.
Anyway, I think we actually got through the whole program tonight.
Wow, that is amazing. How did we do that? The time actually flies by, doesn't it? It's actually cool. So next week I guess we'll be on your channel for.
I'm nervous about next. Oh yeah, and two things. And the next week it will be the director from the Amazon Prime movie, which I forgot already again. But
oh yes, you told me, that's right, with the movie thing, which I checked out the trailer of. Anyway, yes, so I'll check out the movie.
So that'll be next. Well, we'll talk about that next week too, to make sure people have a chance to watch it beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Well, look. Thank you everyone for joining. This is 2.5 Oyajis Rides again. There'll be some more episodes. Some will be on his channel. Some will be on this channel. I hope you like the format. I quite like having the chat in the middle like this.
John Candy. Yeah, John Candy was funny too.
he was a big funny man. He had great movies actually.
Yeah, they were all pretty funny.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So cool. Look, everyone, thanks for joining. We're gonna leave it there. Definitely, I don't have the capacity to do this every week, but I think the idea of coming back and trying to get back into doing this at this time slot, like once a month, would be pretty cool. Yeah. But we've got a couple of prepared shows, so yeah, we're looking forward to.
So the next 2 weeks we're on for sure, and after that, yeah, we can take a break again for a month and see what happens.
Yeah. But let us know if you want to see more of us. If you want this thing to keep going, definitely let us know. The like button is a good indicator of that. But I really appreciate all the comments and interaction. It's great to see so many people enjoying it.
Hiko, just let me know how does Erin have moderating power? Who is she? She came on the.
She has moderator. She's my moderator. She is my awesome channel editor.
I did not know that. She came on my channel. She
edits the shorts.
And I didn't know she was
Yeah, I've been cutting out short sections of Tokyo Tonight, or she has been, and posting them during the week as short videos to make it more watchable for people. Okay. And so she is awesome.
Oh, great!
She's like running the show.
Nice to meet you, Erin.
Yeah.
Good to see everybody.
Yeah, good to see everybody indeed. Logo can go in the middle. I know what you're thinking. I was thinking that too, Christopher Luke, although I was thinking I wanted to maximize the chat. I wanted you guys to maximize your presence, but I also realized that the videos look unbalanced. So yeah, maybe I'll play with that next time. Maybe we'll put the logo in the middle. But thank you for the suggestion. Maddie, indeed, the band is good to be back together. I mean, yeah, we didn't really have a Yoko Ono situation, so it was always possible to come back. We'll see. No Pink Floyd situation or anything like that happening. So just general laziness, I suppose, and busyness with life.
And you have kids, you know. You saw what happened.
Life happens, you know. But well, look, so everyone, thank you for also the recognition of Erin. She is awesome and she's doing great things on this channel. I very much appreciate her. Good to see everybody, and see you next week on Victor's channel, and we will be talking with Katie and Eric. They'll be awesome. So see you later. And if you're on this channel, subscribe and check out Tokyo Tonight, their weekly news roundup, which I'll be doing at this time tomorrow night. Yeah. See you later. Boom.
Good night, guys.
I'm gonna end the official stream. And that's it.
Whiskey. Time for whiskey.